Here are the tests on my 1983 Eljer Hygeian. Right here it says WS line in the tank, and I have it set a little bit higher than that because the tank actually leans back a little bit and the water will reach that line before it fills to the proper amount. So I just set it a little higher to compensate for that. But anyway, it's using a standard flapper and it is set a little bit above that line, as you can tell. So let's give this a flush and see how it does on tests. The flush on this toilet is really cool. I love how it double siphons. First, let's see if it can take a washcloth. I'm pretty much 100% sure this will pass because pretty much every toilet made in the 1980s can take this. I know there were some like Porcelamex toilets that had really small trapways, but I bet even those could take it. It only siphoned once that time for whatever reason. I think it's because the washcloth was already in the trapway opening before the flush was even halfway through. So I'm going to go ahead and try that one again, and I'm going to have it on the surface of the water, and maybe it'll take it normally. Did perfectly. I could flush this thing all night. I just love how it sounds. Now let's see if it can take a grocery bag. From what I know about these toilets, if they're going to clog, it will clog before it gets through the opening. Because there was that one I used to have that broke in the freeze, and before I got rid of it, I tested it with basically everything, like toys and pencils and whatnot, because it was cracked and ruined. And everything got stuck at the opening. Nothing would go through and actually get into the trap if it was going to clog it. So I'm thinking this will pass, but if it does clog, it won't get past the opening. It passed perfectly with a double siphon and everything. Now let's see if it can take the washcloth and the grocery bag together. Like I was saying before, if it's going to clog, it's going to get stuck at the opening, and that's exactly what I'm expecting will happen. Well, I must say I'm impressed. The opening on this isn't particularly large. Like, it's got a big circle right here, but it kind of flattens as it goes in a little bit. But it took that. You guys saw it just like I did. That's impressive. Now let's see if it can take a dish towel. I'm guessing it will clog even though it passed the washcloth in the grocery bag. Yeah, it took it from the middle of the cloth. Usually when it takes it from the middle, that means all these hemmed edges bunch up together, and that can clog almost any toilet. So if it took it from the side, I don't know that that would have been any better, but it would have had a slightly better chance at passing. So I'm going to wait for that tank to refill, and I'm going to try that again in hopes that it will take it a slightly different way. It took it mostly from the middle again. But you know what? It's kind of in a good place right now. I bet if I flushed it again it could pass. Well, it can't take it by itself, but if I help it, the trapway is physically large enough to take a dish towel. Now, let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet. When I tested my other Hygeian with this, it flushed for a lot longer because I had a 5-gallon tank on it and it made a bunch of weird noises. So I'm going to fill the tank all the way on this in hopes that I can get a siphon. I don't know what you guys thought of that, but that was freaking epic. I think that might be the longest siphon of any toilet on YouTube. Although I haven't really searched for that kind of thing, I bet that's the longest on YouTube. So if you guys know of a toilet that is siphoned for longer than that, please link it in the comments. So I think what we learned from that is if you clog the siphon jet and it doesn't do anything, overfill the tank and try it again, unless it's a new Kohler, because you can't really overfill the tank with an aqua piston, or a Mansfield for that matter. But basically every other toilet, try it with an overfilled tank if it doesn't siphon on a clogged siphon jet. But anyway, let's move on to the next test, which is dirt. This toilet has a very swirly flush, and I'm guessing that that will mean it has very good bowl rinse. I'm guessing the bowl clearance will also be good, but I really honestly do not know, so we'll find out together. The bowl clearance is spot on. It's not perfect because there's a little bit of discoloration in there, but that's no big deal. Around the edges, or the sides, it did super. It just missed that one little spot. And considering it cleared everything else with that one little spot and only left this little bit of sediment in the bowl, that's a really good flush. Honestly, if it wasn't comfort height, I know you guys probably think I'm crazy, but if it wasn't comfort height, I'd probably install this. I love this toilet. but I just really don't like sitting 18 inches off the floor. I don't know why. It's just weird to me. So anyway, I might as well give it another flush and see if I can get the rest of that stuff out. One other strange thing about this toilet is that it sometimes doesn't siphon when it's at that level because the siphon jet is a little bit to the left. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I'm just going to see how it does with that little bit of dirt and the water at that level. So as you can see, it tried to siphon. I could hear it out at the bottom, but it did not siphon. So anyway, that is all for these tests. That was really, really cool. I really enjoyed testing this toilet. I definitely didn't expect it to perform that well, and I didn't expect it to siphon so long with the clogged siphon jet. I just can't get over that. But anyway, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video. But one more announcement I've got to make before I go. I've been thinking about that high tank setup that I designed. I've been thinking about how I'll do it, and I think that if I can get the reclaimed wood, because I'm cheap and I don't want to go buy it, I'm going to build that thing. So here's the last flush of the Hygeian real quick.